Thanks for dropping by Nerdorama Retro Nostalgia. I'm going to do what Nintendo didn't by adding a backlight to this original Game Boy. It's a cheap mod that's going to maintain the original parts of my Game Boy, but we are going to have to pull out the soldering iron. In this video, I'm going to show you the quality of the original screen. We'll then open it up and I'll solder in the new chip. Next, I'll need to lift out the screen, remove the original reflector and polarization filter from the back, and give the LCD glass a really good clean. Then I'll add the new backlight and carefully insert the new polarization filter and test. Before I get into the nitty gritty, please click that subscribe button. It's really going to help this channel out. I'll appreciate it very much. Plus, you'll be helping to save a retro console. And there's going to be a channel giveaway when we reach 100 subscribers. We're already a third of the way there. The original Game Boy screen can only display 4 shades of grey. The screen measures 2.6 inches diagonally, and it's 160 by 144 pixels. This balanced clarity and power efficiency that was available at the time. There's no backlight, but there was a Game Boy Light released only in Japan, and it did have a backlit screen. Unlike modern LCDs, the screen has large visible pixels with notable gaps between them. It gives a distinct blocky appearance. The screen had a passive matrix display where pixels take longer to turn off and on. This caused motion blur, but it was actually used to good effect and smoothed out the graphics in fast-moving games like Mario and Tetris. To open the case, there's only 6 screws you need to remove, but you will need a special tri-tip head screwdriver. These are cheaply and easily available from Amazon. To open the Game Boy, we have to flip it up. This is the ribbon cable that we have to carefully remove. It does just slide out. Here's the inside of the Game Boy. Around here is where we need to solder in that new chip. I'm going to move this camera down further because I'm about to work on these tiny pins down there. Okay, that looks a lot better. I'll do my best to lean out of the way so you can keep seeing my beautiful face. I've got a little display monitor right here so I can see everything that the camera sees. The first thing I need to do is lift these pins 6 and 7 because the chip slides under here. I feel quite medical with this syringe, but it's flux. Flux does wonders for heat transfer when soldering. So I'm going to add a bit of flux to pin 6 and pin 7 here. One, two, three, 4, 5. Just going to add a bit of heat to them first. So joining them with solder, that was a really bad idea. If you've seen me solder before, this is a common occurrence. Let's heat it up and use my solder sucker to get rid of it. Sweet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I'm going to get the tweezers under pin 7 here if I can. Gosh, these are tiny. Right, my tweezers are not quite small enough. Okay, I need to be more careful. I've already bumped the case here and in another part, and I've melted it. I have to be extremely careful with the soldering iron. I've managed to wedge my tweezers into pin 7. Let's see if we can lift it. Oh yes. There we go, it's actually lifted. Okay, do I have any smaller tweezers? On. All right, I think she's up. It's not pretty, but they're lifted. We're going to give it a quick brush. Remove some of that flux. Here's a little chip. I'm going to add a little bit of flux here because this is where I'm going to solder those 2 pins. Use my cute flux pen. Going to pop a little dab of solder on here to give the pins the best chance possible to stick. No, it doesn't help if you solder them both together. Alright, that's a bit better. Okay. It lines up with these here. And it also has to line up with these pins underneath it. I'm happy with the placement. I'm just going to bend the pins a little bit so that they line up more with the pads. Right, so I've just added some electrical tape to hold it in while we attempt to get these to join. Now I think I've done it, but I'm going to get the continuity tester and just double check because I don't trust that this is a very good job. All right, so I want to see that the pin connector still has continuity. Nice, and down here. Okay. I hope they don't have continuity with each other because that means I've bridged it. Oh, thank goodness. The next step is just to pop in some solder on these 3 points. Just add a little bit to the ground pad here. Now I have to solder a wire from the ground pad to the ground pin here. While I've got the continuity tester, let's check this one as well. Excellent. Hopefully that was the hardest part. Now onto the screen. To get the front board out so we can get at the screen, there's 10 Phillips head screws here to remove. Here's the front board. I'm just going to give it a quick wipe over with some isopropyl alcohol. To get the screen out, I'll remove these 2 little screws and use a plastic tool to pry the screen out from the top. Oh, perfect. So the challenge with this screen, it doesn't come off all the way, it opens from the side. In here is the rear reflector and polarization filter that I need to remove. I'm going to try and go from this corner. Now I suspect I only have the reflector and I haven't got the polarization filter yet. Did I mention that there's a high potential for cracking and damaging the screen? Okay, the original filter and reflector are off. If this thing still works after the punishment it's taken from me, it's a very sturdy, well-made device. Time to spend the next few minutes cleaning the screen with isopropyl alcohol to get rid of the old glue. I'm going to do a jump cut to when this thing is all clean. I'm back. That old glue is very stubborn, but at least it's all gone. Well, pretty much all gone. There may be some spots I need to come back to, but we'll find out when I've got the filter and the screen in place. To install the backlight now, there's just a few more points of soldering and then fingers crossed, everything will work. Now the backlight slides under the screen. Now it's time for testing. I'm going to reconnect the video board and see if we still have power and see if it works. I'm actually really quite nervous. When I turn it on, I'm hoping that we see the LED power light and the backlight come on. There won't be anything on the screen yet because I haven't put in the new polarization filter. This is it. Oh yeah! I don't know if those dots are supposed to be there. I'm going to slide the filter in and see if we have signs of life. Signs of life, but it doesn't look good. Okay, I'm just going to go check a few things. You're about to see the exact moment where I realise what I've done wrong. Somewhere along the way, completely inadvertently, I've cracked this cable that controls the video signal to half of the LCD screen. There's no way I'm going to repair it, but I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to have to source some new parts, maybe a donor Game Boy. There's going to have to be a second video. So if you stayed with me, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave me a like, a comment, a thumbs up, or a thumbs down, and I'll catch you all soon for some more Nerdorama retro nostalgia.